10 cards rated day 138. Let's go, everybody. It's Ancient Ziggurat over here, originally printed in Conflux. This is still like a couple of bucks to get your hands on, because look at it, man. It's a land that taps for a mana of any color, but you can only spend that mana to play creature spells. Fine, deal. Let's go, you know. Like, my whole deck will be creatures, dog. I don't give a darn, you know, well, whatever. Very good land here, dude. Like, very good. Like, sure, sometimes it's going to screw you, and like, oh, I got to play Go for the Throat. Whoops. All I have untapped is this. And, you know, it's whatever. But still, for the most part, this is a crazy good land. They need to reprint more because they, for some reason, haven't reprinted it more. And I think that's stupid, and they need to do it. It's very good. So let's give Ancient Ziggurat a... ask the audience. I'll ask the audience. First card of the day? I don't think I've ever done that before. What do you give AZ? From A to Z, what do you give this card? I'm going to give it a 7.9. Yeah. I'm going to do it, guys. I think that's correct. I really do, man. But we'll look at the Eighth Doctor. We've already looked at this before, so we don't have to do it again. That's good news. Pacifism we've already looked at as well. That's 2 in a row. That doesn't happen too often. Flood-type Serpent we have not looked at. This is from Born of the Gods. It is 5 mana, 4 and a blue for a 4/4 Serpent that can't attack unless you return an enchantment you control to its owner's hand. What if that's an upside? Sometimes it can easily be an upside, but overall it's just a 5 mana 4/4 with a, come on, mostly downside. Like, even if you are returning something cool to your hand, you can cast again. Like, yeah, you still have to pay mana to cast it again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to give this like a 2.7. It's not good. It kind of just isn't. So move on to Temple of Malady. We have done temples before as well. These generally get like around a 5-ish, give or take. Right around a basic-ish. Scrying is good. Duels are good. Moon-Eating Dog. What an awesome name for a card. This is from Global Series Yang. I'm always so bad at this. I am so sorry in advance. Yang Yangu and Mu Yan Ling. You can also get it from the list. They were good enough to print it on the list. This is $4. $4. It's 19 cents. It's 4 mana. 3 and a blue for a 3/3 hound. It's actually a dog. They went ahead and changed it to dog. As long as you control a Yanling Planeswalker, Moon-Eating Dog has flying. So I have to work to make it a phantom monster, which is way outclassed by like a million Magic cards already. This card's like actively not good. It's a hill giant unless you have a very specific Planeswalker. So bad. Bad dog. 2. Is it even? No, it's not even a 2. It's like a 1.3, you know. It's bad. Cosmic Horror. Hello, Cosmic Horror. This is from Legends. It's $11 from Legends, or conversely, 30 cents from 4th edition. So make an educated decision there. It's 6 mana, 3 and 3 black for a 7/7 horror with first strike. It's pay its casting cost during your upkeep, or it does 7 damage to you and it's destroyed. So it's a 6 mana, 7/7 first strike. Pay its casting cost for the rest of the game, kid. So that's awful. Great art here by Jesper Myers here, sort of an H.P. Lovecraft kind of vibe, because it's a cosmic horror. It would make sense. It would be like Cthulhuian. Cthulhuian, is that a thing you play? He said Lovecraftian. That's probably the right one. An eldritch horror, as it were. Just a cool magic, a very cool card, but boy, is it not very good. It just isn't. Honestly, the casting cost isn't bad by today's standards. 7/7 for some with keyword ability, yeah, maybe, but still, come on, man. No one's playing this. So, 2. I will put a 2 on this and keep it there, I think. Vas Dungeon, ooh, from Exodus. All right, so this is also reprinted on the list. 4 mana, 2 and 2 black for an enchantment. Any player may pay 5 life during his or her turn to destroy Vas Dungeon. Choose and discard a card. Target player chooses a card in his or her hand and puts that card on top of his or her library. Play this ability as a sorcery. So this card is kind of silly. The thing is, right, it says that they can pay 5 life to get rid of it, but they have to wait till their turn to do that. So when you play Vas Dungeon, you can just kind of discard like 3 or 4 cards and then make them do this a bunch of times. Right? And then during their turn, they have to pay 5 life. It's kind of crazy, honestly, man. You can also target yourself with the ability. So discard a card and put another card from your hand back on top of your own library, and that's actually like a library, and that's a thing that can be kind of tricky sometimes. But you know, this actually bodied people like back in the day. It wasn't a part of like any real constructed deck I can remember, but on the kitchen table, it did an awful lot of work and was talked about a good bit in press from Magic of that time. Just because of some of the dumb things it could do. It turned out that like it was very annoying, extremely so, to have to put a bunch of cards back on top of your library, because then you don't get a draw step for multiple turns. You already had those cards. It doesn't matter, you know. So that was kind of an issue. And also sometimes you, the Vas Dungeon player, want to discard cards. You've got stuff to reanimate or whatever it is, you know, madness. Could be, would be. But Vas Dungeon is actually a stronger card than it looks like, and I'm going to give it a 5.8. In Commander, it's probably not as good because, you know, you've got so many different opponents. It's better in 1v1s, but I'm still going to give it a 5.8 because I have got a lot of good memories of this card, and it's a unique effect you don't see every day. And it can screw one player at the Commander table for at least a few turns if they're sort of, you know, the arch villain at that point in time. So I don't know. It's a fun card. Give it a shot. If you've never seen it before, I like it. I will always like it. But move on to Plains. This is one of my favorite Plains art of all time by Christopher Rush here. Ice Age Plains number 364. Ice Age Plains typically look very good. This one has a good color palette, and I like the stones in the river here, the little butterfly in the foreground, you know, kind of a storm rolling in the background, you know, grayish purple sort of palette. And this Plains, the blue sky Plains, you know, everything's fine. Everything looks good. There's a little bit of storm clouds gathering right here, but for the most part, you got this beautiful sunset orange and pink right here with a silver lining and the blue mountain range, you know, the green of the pasture in the foreground. Gorgeous, gorgeous art. Christopher Rush nailed all three of the Plains in this set, in my opinion. But in this one, the sunset is beginning, right? And in this one, the sunset has rolled up over this plateau a little bit. The sky is a little bit bluer. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous art. You can also, Easter egg here, see a little critter. You see where my cursor is? See a little critter's eyes in the left-hand corner of the card? It's gorgeous. Gorgeous Plains. Some of my favorite Plains of all time. I'm going to give the art an 8.5. But we'll move on to Troll of Khazad-dûm here. This is a card we've already done, so we don't have to do it again. Enduring Victory is 5 mana. It's from Dragons of Tarkir. 4 and a white for an instant. Destroy an attacking or blocking creature and bolster 1. That means you choose a creature with the least toughness among dudes you control, and it gets a +1/+1 counter. Not good. 5 mana. Woo! 5. If you talk about 5 mana, cuz, slow down, you know? So 2.4. Not good. Stone Riot is from Abyssin Restored. It's a single red mana for a 1/1 human shaman with Soul Bond. Soul Bond! You may pair this creature with another unpaired creature when either enters the battlefield. They remain paired for as long as you control both of them. As long as Stone Riot is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has fire breathing. Pay a red mana. This creature gets +1/+0 till end of turn. Soul Bond is always like the weirdest reminder text. So Stone Riot, when it comes into play, you can pair it with something, or you can leave it unpaired, right? Comes into play, leave it unpaired, then play another creature, and you can pair this creature with the creature you just played. Soul Bond's weird, but it's an awesome ability. It's both weird and kind of an awesome ability, to be honest. So I like this. Just a single red mana to give 2 things fire breathing, effectively. It's not terrible, but it's also not good. I can't play and say this card's great, so let's just give it a 3.1. I think it's somewhere in that neighborhood. Next is Flax Intruder Man. Here's the promo version, which is just a little bit grisly. So we'll look at the normal one. This is a green mana for a 1/2 human berserker. Whenever Goldilocks deals combat damage to a player, may sack it. When you do, destroy target artifact or enchantment. But this also has an adventure called Welcome Home. For 7 mana, you create 3 2/2 green bear creature tokens. Neither card is very good, really, here, to be honest. 7 mana for 6 power and toughness on 3 guys. Okay, maybe, I guess, if we get to that point in the game and I've got nothing better to do, whatever, but I hopefully have something better to do, you know what I'm saying? And then this, a 1 mana 1/2, I have to sacrifice it to disenchant something? No, none of it's good. Even though it looks like it might be, right? You know, it looks like okay, I'm seeing something cool going on. No, don't do it. It's actually not very good at all. 3.37. Next is Coat with Venom from Dragons of Tarkir. This is was there a white bordered version? I thought I saw it. Apparently, I'm just seeing things. A single black mana for an instant. A creature gets +1/+2 and gains Death Touch until end of turn. So hopefully the +2 will help it survive combat, right? And block something sort of mid-sized and survive and kill that thing. Cool combat trick here, but at the end of the day, it's just a normal combat trick, right? So we're going to give it a 2.5. Next, and apparently last on the day somehow, is Perplexing Test. So this is at least a rare. It's from Commander 2021. 5 mana, 3 and 2 blue for an instant. Choose one. Return all creature tokens to their owner's hands, or return all non-token creatures to their owner's hands. So in a game of Commander, you're probably never going to clean up the entire board with this card. Very likely. But maybe you've got a bunch of tokens, right? And so at that point, you just return all the non-tokens to everyone's hands and get in, I guess. It's a cool card. It's definitely better than a lot of the cards we've looked at today, I think. So, but is it 5 worthy, right? Is it actually going to cross the 5 barrier? Yeah, I think so. I think I'll give it a 5.17, something like that. I think it deserves it. But I'm going to take one more roll at today. This is no like evacuation. That'd just be a better card, right? Or God forbid Cyclonic Rift. You know, there's just a million better cards than this that do a similar thing. But as sort of a baseline version of this effect that you can abuse to your own liking, you know, to your own gain, then yeah, it's actually not that bad. But I do want to reroll. I do want one more reroll. We haven't taken that much time today. I can get another card in. It's Unholy Strength, baby. This is the one from back in the day with the pentagram in the background that made a lot of like parents mad in like church groups and stuff. They're all like, "There's a pentagram. This game has demons," and then you're like, "Well, it also has angels." There's a card called Wrath of God. It can blow up all the demons. Like if your opponent has Unholy Strength on a demon, you can play Wrath of God, and it blows up all the unholy demons. And your parents or your church will still be like, "No, the game is demonic." I lived through this. You know, I know that a lot of people are more accepting of Magic the Gathering nowadays. I'll say that much, but I literally lived through this. I went to a Christian private school, and it was you know, around the time that Magic the Gathering was popular, like first came out and was popular, and I had like 3 teachers be like, "There's a pentagram on that card." I had my cards confiscated multiple times at the school I went to because there's a demon on that card, demonic tutor. There's a demon on that card, or whatever, you know. So dumb, just dumb. But still, I want to give Unholy Strength the honorable 5. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm giving it an honorable 5. This was a force back in the day. You guys have no idea. 1 mana for +2. 1 mana for +2. You understand the rate you're getting? That's an insane rate in 1993. You know, turn 1 Savannah Lions, turn 2 Unholy Strength. I'm attacking for 4 on turn 2. How can you possibly beat me? That was actually a thing that we used to play and think. But yeah, honorary 5. I love Unholy Strength to this day. And note, by the way, note how there's a pentagram, right? There's a pentagram, unlimited edition pentagram, limited edition beta pentagram. Look how cool it is with the black border. Look how bright the fire burns in the background. And then by 4th edition, note what Outrage can do. No, you see what happened? You see what happened in 4th edition? Do you see what's maybe missing from this artwork now? Just a tragedy. But anyway, everybody, that is all the cards for today. I will see you on the morrow. Bye.